Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey y'all, guess who's back? This is the comeback episode of your favorite show and mine, live from the minivan. Hey everybody, it's your girl Vanessa Maddox, live from the minivan today. That's it, that's the minivan. And I actually cleaned it, and there was stuff on the seat, and I just threw it in the trunk so you guys wouldn't see it. Okay, so I want to welcome you all back to the show. It's been a long time. I'm so glad to be back on air with you all. I've had so many requests to bring the show back, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do it at least once a month with my crazy schedule, or maybe once a quarter. So you guys go in the comments and tell me how often you would like to see the show. Bookmark it, follow me, and send me messages as we talk to Craig Buckley today. He's going to have a lot of great things to say to us. Craig is running for Loudoun County Sheriff, so he's going to talk to us about that. It is 10:30 a.m. on the nose. We don't believe in wasting time around here, so we are going to begin. Introducing Craig Buckley. All right, Craig, I got to turn this thing around for a second.
All right. Thank you, Vanessa.
There he is. Welcome to Live from the Minivan. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Vanessa.
Great. I'll promise not to trip you up with any of my wonderful questions, because you know they're all brilliant, and I want you to be able to speak to the people and let them know more about you and your campaign and how you're going to serve and protect Loudoun County citizens. So let's begin. Tell us your why. Why Sheriff? Why Loudoun? And why now?
Well, why Sheriff is because I've been a law enforcement professional, local law enforcement professional in Northern Virginia for many years, most of my adult life, and was serving much of that time for the citizens of Fairfax. My wife grew up here in Loudoun County. We've lived out here for 23 years. We've raised one and still raising two other sons here in Loudoun County. So I've had an opportunity to retire from police work, and I want to still continue to serve my community now, the community that supported me and my family for so many years, and just to continue to give back and be a public servant. I've been a public servant, like I said, my whole adult life, and I want to continue doing that. So I'm running for sheriff.
Wonderful. Hey, Ellen, I haven't seen you in so long. All right, I'm glad you're here. Question number 2. Talk a little bit about your platform. What are the top 3 pillars that are vital in your campaign?
It's not just in my campaign, it's law enforcement in general, a specific need of law enforcement to build trust with a community where public safety is a partnership between the community, the diverse communities that we are supposed to serve, is with transparency, accountability, and community collaboration. The community has to always feel like they have a hand in, from day to day, what type of service they're seeing within their community. So that's really the 3 things that I want to work with. The accountability side is at the headquarters level, having a citizens advisory council. In a lot of police departments, especially the one that I came from for many years, we had a citizens advisory council where members of the community can actually put their hands on our policies and provide some input and give feedback as to how those policies are going to affect them. When you're working when law enforcement professionals are working together, you kind of get that group think going, right? And we know our own terminology and we know where we want to go. That doesn't always match up with the diverse communities that we serve. And in Loudoun County, 1 in 4 of our residents are non-U.S. born. So they already come with their idea of what law enforcement and public safety for them looks like, and we want to make sure that their needs are addressed, that they have an understanding as well of why we do certain things, and if those certain things are negatively impacting them, then why don't we just simply adjust our policies so that they don't do that? So that way it's a welcoming environment, really to try to get rid of the divisiveness. Over the last few years, there's been a lot of this corrosive discourse that has been going through our county. related to everything: law enforcement, schools, just regular, just normal governance of the county. And I really want to get rid of that. I want to be seen as a unifier of the folks of this county, not participating in any means of being divisive.
Awesome, awesome. As you know, I'm a former elected official in the town of Leesburg, and when I was elected to town council, it's the same issues. We always have to focus on how the demographic is changing, what parts of the citizenship we need to pay attention to, which ones we need to help flourish. Would you agree?
I agree completely. And as I said, this is all about public service. And the office, the sheriff's office, is bigger than one person. And we have to recognize that. That's why I want more community involvement. That way, the accountability part is to hold me accountable, not just every 4 years. I want to be held accountable daily or weekly, so that people have a hand in understanding the operations of it, a hand in helping to develop our budgets. So we go to more of a priority-based budgeting model rather than, every year just simply adding 2 or 3% to each category and let's see if it goes through. Because there are changing needs here, and again, we're really missing, because we are a quarter of the way into the 21st century, and I'm still having to talk about issues about diversifying the workforce and to where it's more conducive to having working moms and things of that nature. And that's why one of the first things I put out was about signing on to the 30 by 30 pledge, which is to diversify our workforce, where we at least 30% of it would be sworn force would be women. And part of that pledge is to make the work environment more conducive to working mothers. In turn, it'll produce benefits for working dads as well. I mean, the policy is not going to be just gender exclusive. Those policies are going to filter through the agency and help everyone. And the reason for that is we've had we've been in the news about certain lawsuits and things about our conduct and the way we've approached people and handled them. Statistically speaking, the 30 by 30 push, that pledge, is because as the number of sworn women in law enforcement increase in an organization, the number of lawsuits decline. The number of use of force cases decline. The image of your agency within your community and the trust that is there increases. So it's a win-win. And when we have a recruitment deficit, we have to go to other ways. We have to change. We can't keep doing recruitment like we did in the 90s or even in the early 2000s. In the 90s when I came on, it was more about compassion. My mentors told me, hey, Craig, there's not enough of us here. We're here to protect those who can't protect themselves. Right. In the early 2000s, we shifted more to a warrior-type model where we started putting tac vests on everybody and rifles. For Loudoun County, the question I want to ask, for recruitment, I want to say, do you care enough to serve your community? I want to reach out to the diverse areas of our county and recruit from there and say, do you care enough to serve your own community? Come to us, because there's a lot of people out there that serve our community every day, helping out with nonprofits, working at their church or temple or mosque, and I'd love to pay them to be a deputy, and go out and be forward facing.
Well, I'm so glad you brought up the topic of recruiting, because I'm a professional recruiter by trade. I owned a consulting business for 9 years where I helped solopreneurs, small, medium, large, and conglomerates on how to effectively not only hire but retain and train and keep those good employees. So I want to offer my services to you right now. Once you're in office, you call me up and I'll be glad to come in and consult with your leadership team on how to effectively do that. I do it every single day. The market is like this. So I'm waving my hands, people, like this. So you never know where it's going to land. One of the viewers on here, Jamie is a workforce management expert, and she would be happy to work with you as well, former Loudoun County resident. And my friend Barb Jones, who I love and adore, is on here, and she has tagged, who have you tagged? Red Wine and Blue Virginia and Black Virginia News. So they are watching.
Okay.
She has tagged them. So let's go to the next question.
Okay.
Great. What's your plan for making us feel safer?
We're a safe community. We're going to feel safer when we have complete trust within the community. I tell people all the time when I've spoken, I really want to change the narrative, just or the mindset. When I talk to groups and they say, well, those deputies or that sheriff's office, this is our community and it's our sheriff's office and those are our deputies. And I see that just changing that mindset, people will feel more comfortable with us because we have a good good sheriff's office, and we're going to make it great by just feeling more of a connection between the community and them. That's how people will feel safer, because you can't have public safety without public trust. You need communities that are going to report crimes to us so that we can take care of it, so that a small crime doesn't turn into a bigger crime or a bigger problem.
Absolutely. Thank you. What kind of responses or how have you been accepted in the communities, and what have you been hearing from the voters and supporters?
I've been very touched by just the warmth that I've felt from so many. And I don't ask anyone their political affiliations, and I go everywhere to talk to everyone. I think once people have had a chance to speak to me, they see that my heart is really in the right place. I'm a cop, and I'm running to be a cop. I'm not using this office to try to go and jump to some other, whatever someone might consider a bigger or better position within the government or an elected body or something. I just want to serve the people of Loudoun County, and I don't want to go anywhere else. My family loves it here. Our sons have enjoyed this. This is a good place, and
it's a wonderful place,
and we're not going anywhere. So I just want to serve the citizens in a good capacity, where I know I can do the most good for the community.
Awesome. And last but not least, for these questions, where can folks go online to make donations or volunteer or invite you to their community group, their church, or wherever?
So it's Buckley, Buckley, 4, the number 4, sheriff.org. That is my website. And
okay.
My platform and everything's on there. There's a bio on there about me, but there's also a link to make an Act Blue contribution, or my P.O. box is on there if people would prefer to send checks.
All right, say the web address one more time, and we're going to put it in the comments after we post this video.
It's Buckley 4, the number 4, sheriff.org.
Okay, wonderful. All right, intermission, people. We're on to the rapid fire questions next. So depending on how Craig answers the first question depends on whether we're going to be friends. So let's go to rapid fire. Oh, this will be fun. Pop culture, okay? All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Okay, we're no longer friends.
My wife would say Biggie, though.
This conversation is over, Craig. I just can't do it. All right. Okay, so he says Tupac. All right, we'll take that. Number 2, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Okay, we agree there. All right. Number 3, TikTok or Facebook? And second part, are you enjoying using social media, and has it made campaigning easier?
Okay, if I got to pick one, I would say Facebook, because I know nothing about TikTok, and actually I know nothing about social media. The funny thing about that is I didn't get any social media until the middle of December, and I pulled my hair out for a weekend looking at these tutorials how to even set one up, because I promised my wife she wouldn't have to do anything to help me. Finally, she broke down and helped me set up a Facebook page. But I'm terrible with social media. I can't use it. I don't understand it. That's just me, because my wife always controlled the family Facebook page, and I just never touched it, and being in law enforcement, didn't want to be on any parts of it. So
what's your wife's name? Because it sounds like she's a queen.
Stephanie.
Okay, Miss Stephanie?
Yes. You're
a queen. All right, so applause to Stephanie. All right, next, your favorite music artist and why?
Okay. Barry Manilow.
All right, we love Barry. Okay, for Barry fans.
I'm a fan of Low, okay? Or however whatever it's called now. But my wife, we went to a Barry Manilow concert one time, and I've got to tell you, I've been to dozens of concerts. That by far was the best concert. You know, he seemed so genuine. He got out in the crowd. You know, he just seems like a great person. And you know, for me, a lot of it is about relationships and seeing the good. You know, if I see goodness in somebody, I can really I can relate to that. And but yeah, Barry Manilow, Barry Manilow.
Wonderful.
That'll probably shock a lot of people, but Barry Manilow.
They might think you're cool. I don't know.
Okay.
You know? All right. Last question.
Okay.
Now, this also determines our friendship.
Okay.
So get it right. Okay.
All right.
Your top 5 movies of all time. And as you're talking, I'm going to write your movies down. I'm going to post them on this video afterwards.
Okay.
And then people can send you comments.
All
Okay.
right. I would say Gladiator.
Okay, good one. Russell.
Talladega Nights.
Uh,
'Cause I love anything with Will Ferrell, and Step Brothers would be a
Ricky
be a
Bobby.
Yeah.
If you're first, you're last.
You got that
right?
And Step Brothers would be a close second to that. But anyways, number 3, Fletch. I love comedies, as you can tell, but Chevy Chase was Fletch, Caddyshack, all those. But I would go with Fletch because from time to time I'll say some quotes from that. Number 4, I would say Cars. I have some of the best memories of my of being a parent, watching Cars with my young children.
Yeah.
And probably, and not probably, but I would say 5. It's not really a movie; it's a group of shows. It's VeggieTales. You know, we would get in the minivan. We had a Nissan Quest minivan, and
we had a Nissan Quest minivan, a silver one.
We did. We did. I remember travel baseball, everything else because I was a baseball coach for 14 years at Little League and travel and stuff like that. And we would pop it in. I remember the youngest kids, because they're all kind of spaced out in years. And, you know, the youngest one would always be like, you know, VeggieTales, Dad, VeggieTales. So we pop that in, and that song would just play over and over. You know, you could sing it in your sleep. You know, but those are great memories of mine, having young boys and stuff.
So our original minivan was a silver Nissan Quest.
Okay.
And on road trips, all we would watch was Cars, and we knew all the songs. I knew all the songs.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, listen, Craig, you passed that one. Now, the biggie answer, I don't know. You and I are just going to have to work on that one.
Well, yeah,
okay.
I mean, we'll come to an agreement. I'm all about compromise. I'm all about compromise, you know?
Absolutely.
Maybe we can meet in the middle somewhere.
Absolutely. Craig, thank you so much
for
being on the show. Tell us your web address one more time.
Buckley, the number 4, sheriff.org.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. Can you hang out for 1 second?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm just going to wrap it up. People, that's it. This is our new sheriff of Loudoun County. Now, let me give you the speech that I always give you, folks. Register to vote. It's very easy. It takes you less than 7 minutes to do so. Register to vote. Get your neighbors, your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers. Make sure they are registered. Make sure they're going to the polls. If you have neighbors that can't get to the polls, offer them a ride. Buy them an Uber. I don't know. Do whatever you have to do to get your fellow citizens out to the polls to vote. This is very important. Keep informed on what's going on in our country, in our city, in our county, everywhere. It's very important. And I don't want to hear, I don't get into politics, V. Nobody wants to hear that mess. Politics surrounds us every single day, and it's very important that we are involved and knowledgeable. Okay, does that make sense? All right. Listen, folks, this has been your girl, Vanessa Maddox, live from the minivan with Craig Buckley. Also, if you have questions for Craig, put them in the comments. Once this video posts, it's going to Facebook, Threads, and Instagram. Okay? Send me your questions. If you're friended with me or you are on one of my pages, send me questions. I'll get them all. I'll compile them and give them to Craig and his team, and he will get those answers and give them back to me so I can respond. Okay? Have a wonderful Friday. It is 89 degrees. I'm going home. All right, see you guys later. Love ya.